Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. I'm ready to paint, I'm energized, and I've got a really interesting colour palette. So I'm going to take you down to see the colours. I'm using a canvas with a black base, and one of those colours is a pearl. So it's a pearlescent colour that will change colour once it's mixed with the black, dries and reacts with the light that bounces from the background. I'm excited to do this. I can't wait for you to see the colours that I'm going to be using. Two of them, just a little hint, are metallics. So, two metallics, a pearlescent, another colour that I'm going to show you now. What are we waiting for? Let's see what we can create. So here's my canvas. I'm actually repurposing one of my old canvases. So I've gessoed over the top, rubbed it down, I've painted my sides ready. Here are my colours. So I've got Lamp Black by Amsterdam for the base. The pearlescent colour that I'm using is Pearl Blue. It looks white, but until it reacts with the dark background, you're not going to see the blue. And I've also got a Brilliant Blue by Amsterdam to accompany that blue theme. My two metallic colours are Iridescent Copper and Iridescent Gold by Pebeo. Now all my paints today are mixed with just water. 1 part paint to 1 part water. Very fluid, runs off the spatula. You cannot see a trace. And again, that's the same with all of these colours. So I do have questions come to me about the consistency of the base compared to the patterns on top, so the colours that we layer on top. The consistency for both, so the base and the colours that I layer on top are the same. 1 part paint to 1 part water. Check out the description box, I list lots of information in there. So, let's go. So I'm using a black base. And this is a repurposed canvas, as I said. So if you've got a piece of art that you no longer want and you'll want to paint over it, then prepare your canvas and you can use it again. And I always say, if you can get your base coat right and good coverage, then the rest should just follow on really easily. Famous last words, because we all know that sometimes there are barriers and challenges ahead, but don't let that ever put you off. So I'm just putting my first colour down, and this is the Pearl Blue, because I really want this one to react with the black background, because that's what really reacts with this paint. So that's my guideline. I know where I want to layer my paints. So what I'm going to do is take one colour at a time and layer the paints in the middle and then blow it out. So remember, one colour at a time, layering on top, and think about the volume of paint that you're putting on there, because you'll want to blow that paint in certain directions. It's always better to be able to add some more paint later on than have too much paint and blow lots off. So I'm happy with the paint that I've layered, and I'm now taking my blow dryer, a cool setting, lowest blow speed, and I start in the middle. And I literally blow the middle a couple of times and then I go for the puddles on each end. And it's about looking at that balance of colour and the negative space. In this case, it's the black on the background. And it's deciding about that balance and that movement. And I always point my blow dryer in the way that I want to move the paint. So that's why I work my way around that line, blowing from the middle to the outer edge. I'm really loving the reaction around here, and I love how it swoops round. And it's okay to really tweak the composition. Over there, I think I need a little bit more paint. So as I said right at the beginning, it's better to be able to add some more paint and work with that rather than having too much initially and blowing lots of it off onto your table. So in this area, I just want to emphasize some of the blue colour. So I'm just adding some of that pearl blue, some of that brilliant blue, and then a touch of the gold. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally blow that paint off, down the side, and extend that area slightly. For me, I feel that that really enhances the composition. It gives that good balance between that negative space, that black area over on the left hand side, with that twist of colour all the way through from one corner to another. Really happy with this result. Happy dance time, everyone. I'm going to take you in now so you can see a close-up of the wet version. I will let this dry and I'll show you the close-up of the dry version. And people often ask me about drying times and the environment that I dry my paintings in. I literally leave my paintings in my art room. There's no heating, it's just a room temperature. There's no air conditioning unit or anything, because if you have air blowing over the top, then that's what can cause some grazing and some cracking. You want the painting to dry at a slower, consistent rate, because don't forget, if you're layering paints on top of each other, then there are volumes of paint on that canvas that need to dry. And that's why right at the beginning, I really don't want large puddles of paint in certain areas. That's why I go for a really consistent look on my base coat. So that's one reason for the drying process. So yeah, it's not kind of a speedy process. This one will probably take 3 to 4 days to dry in terms of touch, and then another couple of weeks to fully cure. So that time has elapsed and I'm now showing you the dry version. I haven't varnished any of my pieces, and I don't tend to varnish them unless I sell them. But especially in the autumn and winter time, it's a lot more damp here in the UK and wet. So I do varnish more in our spring and summer months. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up, give it a like if you've enjoyed it, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I really love to read all of your feedback, good, bad, constructive, because it really helps me evolve and develop as an artist as well. Have a great week ahead. Thank you all so much for your support. I'll leave you with some close-ups of this one, and I hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye.